they say 18 is when you become an adult, but I feel like I really became an adult when I moved to Nashville. Because, I mean, think about it. I moved here with no family. My kid, we were still pretty long distance at that point. So, yeah, it was real. It was a reality check for sure.
What's going on, y'all? This is Cruz Control Radio, shot by C with the cam. Swayze smoking that shit. Can't be smoking that, bro. But listen, right now we are here at home studio, and today we got with us a special guest. Y'all going remember y'all gonna get familiar with the voice. Y'all gonna be like, oh, I know that voice. We got Monty Mills in the building right now, y'all. What's going on?
What's up?
Nothing much. Thank you for being patient with us. I know you seen us. I'm going to just say it. We got a bag of water holding up your mic.
You ain't even got to say it, though.
I just
know all that.
We said
we made it work. We made it work. We keeping it pushing. You doing your thing, and we rolling.
Speaking of pushing, how many kids did you say you had?
4.
You pushed out 4?
Yeah.
All that? Like?
Oh, no, not all natural.
Oh, that's fine.
I have 4 children.
So I have twins, and I watched my fiance give birth and almost passed out. Did your husband have that same reaction, would you say?
No, he a G. He was a G.
Oh, so I'm just... That's all it is. Oh, that's fine.
He did great.
That's dope. So I seen you have a page, and it's the Kyler's family. What made you want to put your family out there like that?
Okay, so really, I would post a lot under my personal page, just little moments from our family. And I just kind of decided to separate the two because when I would post my family, I would get a lot of people. I was like, okay, I love my little family or whatever. So I just decided to make it its own thing. And I mean, even now, it's hard, putting your family out like that because you don't have any control over the internet. But it's a lot of good, a lot of positive that has come from it. And so right now, I'm just seeing what kind of happens with that throughout this year. So.
That's dope. Is that something new you started this year?
Well, I started it last year, but I really started putting energy and time into it this year. Dope. January at the top of the year. This was something that was kind of like, I guess, a New Year's resolution, you know? And so just to see, mainly really for my kids, I got some super talented kids, and just kind of seeing what type of opportunities stem from it. Yeah.
And when you say super talented, what are they talented in?
Everything. One that likes to sing. I have one that likes to dance.
Really?
Rap,
you got your little
gymnastics.
Jackson 5 there.
Okay, period. Got a whole little team. So
dope.
Yeah, they have big personalities. Me and their dad have big personalities, so they're just a big reflection of that. So
that's dope. And I wanted to start off with family because I'm a family man myself, and I respect people that take care of their family and keep the family together. So I do respect that and that. So I like how you guys have your own family. You mentioned off camera that you have 2 of your kids of your own. And brought them together and still make that family a family. So that's dope. What helped? Because there's a lot of people that can't make that work. What helps y'all make that work?
I just think that we're I always love kids. I'm a kid person. I've always been that mentor, that person that had young girls or kids up under me. So I'm just always been a kid person. I also say that what helped me is I grew up with a stepfather. So having a step parent, kind of showed me things that for my partner, what I wanted for my kid going into it, and then how to be as a step parent myself. So that kind of contributed to the success of just us bringing our family and being blended.
That's dope. So I was listening to the radio, I think a couple weeks ago, and it said you're on maternity. What?
I was on maternity leave.
Are you back now?
Oh yeah, I'm back. I've been back for 2 weeks now.
Okay, yeah, because I was listening to it and they said they're on maternity leave. I was like, she don't look pregnant.
No. I've been back. I was out for a minute. October through, like I said, 2 weeks ago.
All right, y'all, quick break. Thank y'all for tuning into the Monty Mills interview. Listen, if you're a producer, a music artist, or an entrepreneur, and you have a service to sell, you gotta use the new platform I'm on. Man, listen, it's called In a Dot. You go to inner.com/Cruz and you can get your membership today. So cheap, only $20 a month. You could build your own website off of it, sell your own merch, do a proud to pay system on there where somebody can pay for whatever they want to pay for on there. Literally the sky is the limit with this platform, so make sure y'all check it out right now. inner.com/Cruz. Listen, the link is in the description, in the bio. Make sure y'all tap in, change your life. Oh, and also the biggest part about it is you get sync offers. So if you're an artist and you're looking to get your stuff on Netflix and TV and radio, different type of things, tap in and get your stuff on sync licensing. You get plenty of deals to up to $100,000 per deal. So make sure you tap in, $20 a month, tap the link. Let's go. So it's like every time like you have kids though, it's like it doesn't like slow you down though. Like you're still putting out content. You're still like, you don't look like you had a kid just recently.
I try. Mentally, it's just about trying to balance it as much as you can, you know. I have moments, you know. Actually, I mean, been having a moment lately. Identity, you know, kind of identity crisis, you know, just what do you call it? Postpartum things, you know. But I mean, I have a really good support system with like my family, my husband, and I just try to do what I can when I can. Yeah. Really, that's all you can do.
No, that's dope. Yeah, my fiance would tell me she has mom brain. I was like, I don't know what that means, but you need to remember what you're doing around it.
Yeah.
But so is that a real thing that you deal with? Is like, you know, because some people like, you know, disregard postpartum and be like, oh, well, what do you mean that's bothering you? Like, how did you said it's a good support system, but what helped you mostly cope with getting through that? And if you are still dealing with that?
Yeah, definitely still going through it. Because so for me, I've been pregnant 3 times since 2019. So I've had 3 babies in 4 years. So, I mean, that's a lot in itself, you know? So, I mean, just battling how much life has changed for me in general. And I literally just posted about this the other day, so I got to talk about it. So I cut my hair last year. Yeah. And I was saying that I cut my hair because I was like having this identity crisis of like, okay, I just felt like, oh, you know, Facebook come up and they'll show you memories of yourself. So I'll see memories of my hair short. I'm like, oh, I was fly. Oh, I was rocking this. Let me try to get back to this era of me. Right. But it's like, when I was talking about it yesterday, I'm like, okay, the past is the past for a reason. I'm trying to chase this image and this person of who I was before kids, and that person does not exist anymore. Wow. You know, so a lot of it just comes with accepting like who I am today. I don't want to say I'm not Monty Mills anymore, but, you know, a lot of people call me Mama Monty now. And it's like, yeah, I'm Mama Monty. Like, I'm the wife. I have 4 kids. Like, I'm literally a whole different person. So I guess going through it is just accepting who I am today versus, you know, who I was. Right.
So can we call you Mommy Mills?
I guess so. I mean, I hear it, you know. Yeah. It's funny because they even did it, like I had a drop when I was doing a station in Savannah, and like that's instead of from Monty Mills, they said Mommy Mills. And
really?
Like, my drop, yeah.
Was this before
he was like, just go with it. It's dope. I'm like, okay.
Said, okay, Mommy Mills. We'll make something out of it. Right. Dope. So let's talk about, you know, where it all started for you. It was Washington, D.C.
That's where I grew up. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Not where this journey. I'm talking about all the way back. Yeah. Like, so Washington D.C. is a little ratchet.
There are parts. So I grew up in the whole DMV area, D.C., Maryland.
Virginia.
Grew up. Well, not Virginia. I never lived in Virginia, but between D.C. and Maryland. Yeah.
Okay. Dope. So they sell a lot of crack down there.
I ain't never bought no crack.
Oh, I'm not saying you.
So I don't know if they do. I guess I've heard stories. Yes, okay. I've heard stories. And shout out to my dad. I know he won't be upset with me saying this, but my dad actually, speaking of, he was a former addict. And like my dad right now, he owns his own. He's a barber. He owns his own barbershop. He's married. He has successful children. Wow. And he really turned his life around. So anyways, shout out to my father.
Nah, that's big.
But speaking of crack, I guess they did. I guess they do.
Say cuz.
I guess they do.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I know DC in general, you know, drugs, violence. I know it's always been an image for that in like certain parts of DC.
No, that's dope. So then what made you drive or fly all the way down to South Carolina and, you know, chase your, I don't know if you went there to chase your career. What took you to South Carolina?
So I actually have an interesting story. So in middle school, I actually left Maryland. I was in Maryland at the time. My mother had got married to a military man, and I'm actually moved across the world to Washington State.
Okay.
Hated it. Moved back with my father, and then I graduated from school in D.C. So while I was in high school in D.C., I was in the band, and we did a lot of, the band that I was in was like a top band. So I was on the Ellen DeGeneres show because of the band. We marched in the Rose Bowl parade. We went to Cali. We just did a lot of big stuff. So the band was my thing. So I wanted to go to a school that had a really good band as well. And South Carolina State is where I applied to and got accepted. They had a really good band. And so that's kind of where I moved to. That's why I went to South Carolina for school. Radio was not even in the picture at all. I went to school to be a pediatrician.
Really?
I did.
You did say you love kids.
Yes, I went to school to be a pediatrician. So, yeah, it's crazy how the story works. But that's how I got from D.C. to South Carolina because I went to school.
So what did you play in the band?
I was a dancer.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was thinking like a stripper.
Girl.
Okay.
Oh, no, don't think like that.
I was like, hold on.
My kids watching, say no. No, I was a champagne girl, so I was a dancer in the band.
Okay, so yeah, I know what you mean. Like they wear like the leotard Jones and they doing the. Oh, that's dope. You still dance? You dance for your husband?
Yeah.
That's lit. That's why y'all got them kids.
But oh Lord. But it's funny because I made a post on Facebook recently about just kind of being confused about life right now, and somebody commented and said that they always wanted me to have a dance studio, which I thought was interesting. So I don't dance as much as I would like to, or as much as I used to, but I mean it's still in me.
A dance studio would be dope.
I think so too.
You look like a boss too. Like you'll tell somebody like you could run it good.
Yeah, I definitely could. So I don't know how to cross that bridge.
That's dope. I know a couple people that got studios. That would be dope. So I just started. So I'm like an entrepreneur, and like once I hear something, it's like I start thinking of ideas of businesses. But yeah, but so when you're in South Carolina, you're going there to be a pediatrician, and out of nowhere, you're like, I have a great voice for radio.
Nope, didn't even work like that. So I was going there to be a pediatrician. I had my first kid, Aiden, and so everything just kind of changed from there. What I was doing was I started putting on my own events. So I started doing poetry shows. I started doing fashion shows. I was doing stuff in the city that people weren't doing. Yeah. And then I was hosting it. And I didn't have no experience. It's so funny because I look at videos and I be like, I sounded so crazy. But I was just doing what I felt like I needed to do. And eventually, that's how I got noticed. Like my voice just hosting like these events and stuff like that. Louis V hit me up. I was literally in the middle of wanting to move back home to DC. I got a call literally the weekend that I was about to move. He was like, you ever thought about doing radio? I'm like, thought about doing radio? What? So yeah, everything just changed from there. He gave me the opportunity to do radio. I was 7 days a week, middays in Columbia. And that's pretty much how radio started.
That's crazy. So because when I hear you doing the ads on the radio, I would have thought that you went to school for like journalism. It's how you read. I'll be in there it up like.
Well, I mean, that's me and my husband was just talking about this. It is a difference between like, you know, doing something and having a gift for doing it. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like this was literally God's plan. So it's no way around it. I can do it so easily because it's what I'm meant to do. Yeah.
That's crazy. Because I was thinking when you were saying you had a kid while you were going to school to be a pediatrician, but God's plan was like, listen, we're not doing that. This is what
Switch
you need to do.
Switch stuff up real quick.
So right away, you got right into 101 The Beat in Columbia?
So it was 100.1 The Beat in Columbia. Yes, and not right away. It was probably so I first started radio in 2017. So maybe like a year of just like hosting parties.
No, I'm saying the first time they called you to get on radio.
I was all in.
Wow.
Yeah, I was all in.
Crazy.
It was very crazy because I don't know why they had me doing it. Because like you said, I had zero experience, but I mean, I guess just So with radio, you have to find yourself, so I was trying to be too radio and not myself. But, that's just was the learning process.
Yeah.
But anyways, they trusted me. They trusted me to do that for 7 days.
7 days straight.
Middays, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Sunday to Saturday.
And how long did you do that? For 7 days.
Up until I came to Nashville, which was a year. I was in Columbia for a year, and I did 7 days a week for a year.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And what's crazy? What's even crazier is that people will do that for 3 months and can't take it. Yeah. Or if they're doing some behind the scenes work, say they're in there doing like engineering or something, but they actually want to be a personality. And they got to a point where they're like, you know what? Like, this actually ain't for me. Because they don't want to do the behind the scenes work. Were you ever a person that had to do this stuff behind the scenes, or they was right away? They was like, money on the front.
Yeah, I definitely had to do behind the scenes work. I mean, it's different for everybody, but I did a lot. So for one, I always like to put it out there. When I was doing that, I wasn't making no money. They had me part-time. I think I was making $10 an hour, but they were only giving me 15 hours a week. So it was like $150. So I wasn't making no money, okay? Wow. It was literally just passion, and I knew where it could go. They had me in there doing everything I was doing. So like when I say behind the scenes work, had to do little stuff as far as like you said, production or sagging. I also was heavy in the schools, community service. I was heavy I was at every pet rally or doing I'm a little chilly.
It's cold in here?
A little bit. I'm like shivering a little bit.
But there's these ceilings are like brick, so
it's
I
all
apologize.
Good. But and then doing like the career fairs and stuff like that. So really just putting in the work, not only while I was working, but I was in the studio even when I wasn't working. Just trying to really perfect my craft, because when I would hear myself on the radio, I didn't like it. So I was trying to find my voice.
Yeah. That's dope. So when you're in South Carolina on the radio doing this, you meet Charlamagne.
I did, yeah.
How did that? Did you know him before that, or was that your first time meeting him?
That was my first time. I was doing a live broadcast at a expo, and he was in attendance. And I don't even think he was on my station at that time. No, he wasn't. I just seen him. And I was just like, yo, you call yourself the radio guy? Because that's what he called himself at this time, the radio guy. I'm like, I call myself the radio girl. Nice to meet you, you know? And like the vibes was just instantly love. Yeah. He did a drop for me at that time. And he was just very, encouraging, for just like my career. I had just started out too when I met Charlamagne. So yeah, that's how that happened.
That's dope.
And then let me tell you a funny story. At this same expo, the baby was there, but the baby wasn't the baby.
He was still wearing a diaper.
Yeah, I guess so. He wasn't on the level that he was on, and he was there and he was passing out CDs, and people was kind of curving him or whatever. Wow. And anyways, I always tell that story because now look at him,
Right. And I asked about the diaper because he would literally be I don't know if you know about this.
I know. He wasn't in no diaper that day.
No. He would be outside in Tim's with a diaper on.
No. He just had on like the big baggy clothes. I
you knew about that, right?
Clothes?
Yeah.
Oh, no. I didn't know that.
That's like, and people do that to like catch it, like get that attention. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he was wearing a diaper. That is hilarious. But that's crazy because people won't support you until they see everybody supporting you.
Exactly.
That's insane. So now that you're in South Carolina, you're doing all these things, and you're like, okay, a year later, now I want to move to Nashville, or did they call you up here from Nashville and say, hey, we need you?
Well, for one, I feel like I made my story sound too easy with the radio. But like I said, because I wasn't making a lot of money, I was working other jobs. I just want to put that out there because I know a lot of people, when they ask me about my journey, I just like to make it clear that it was not easy. You might not make no money starting off, and so just to show like sometimes you got to put in a little bit of work, or you may have to work for nothing to get where you want to go.
Yep.
So I had like little jobs or whatever on the side, and I actually quit my job to do full-time radio, which I don't know if I recommend that. But anyway, yeah. So a year later, I actually started Lizette Love. She was on the station before me in Nashville. Okay. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Not. I just moved out here in 2019.
Okay. So I was right behind you. Did I come out here in 2018 or 19? We had Mia in 2019, so it was 2018. All right, so Lizette, she had got an opportunity that was kind of up in the air about her going to another station. So just kind of word of mouth was like, yo, Monty Mills can fill in for you. I was filling in originally. And then I guess they liked what they heard. So once Lizette got the job, they offered me the position to take over after Liz. Yeah.
That's dope. So when I want to go back to the working, because a lot of people think like, oh, you're working 9 to 5, that's corny. Like, because people like in our community feel like you have to be a hustler. You have to be getting it off the muscle, when it's like, you need the 9 to 5.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
You need the 9 to 5 to fund this.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Did you ever work in a warehouse?
I did not. No, I worked at like banking. I worked at Wells Fargo.
Oh, word.
I worked at like
they be stealing money.
I worked in the call center part. So
that's where they be doing it.
Well,
I'm not saying you did it.
The money ain't over there though. I don't know how they stealing money over there.
I don't know.
But and then I worked at Blue Cross Blue Shield, so for insurance.
Oh, dope. Yeah.
So I had cute jobs.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, yeah, you don't look like a warehouse type, but they have like these stigmas about people that work in warehouses, and I feel like there's a lot of money in that area.
Oh, definitely, yeah. They paying you because you working and I'm doing it. But you got to do what you got to do,
right?
And that's what I felt. I had a kid. I had to do what I had to do. So, and I just a lot of things you just have to follow your heart with,
Yeah, definitely.
and follow, like the signs of where life is taking you, because you just never know.
Yeah, and when you said when you came up to Nashville. Basically what was had is somebody else got opportunity and you got opportunity. So when you came up here, is that something where it's like and I don't know if this is too personal, but if they like handle your travel, they want you out here, they bought you to come out here basically. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Monty Mills got money. Let's go.
No, and it's so crazy because my husband literally packed me up by himself.
Yeah.
Put the car on the I had a Hyundai Sonata, hiked that joint on the back, and we dipped out. And I was so excited. I had no idea. Like, it's just so crazy. I always say that.
Yo, so it's Swayze the Kid, 1/4 of Cruise Control Radio. I need y'all to do me a huge favor. Go to youtube.com/Cruise Control Radio. That's CRUZ Control Radio. I need you guys to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to do me an extra favor, extra credit, go ahead and turn on the notifications so that way you'll get alerts to our newest interviews, the latest content, and some exclusive material. And also, if you can like, subscribe, comment, hate, do anything, just don't be a creep. Do me a huge favor on that one. So once again, that's youtube.com/Cruise Control Radio. That's CRUZ Control Radio. And let's hit that subscribes and notification. Stay tuned.
They say 18 is when you become an adult, but I feel like I really became an adult when I moved to Nashville. Because, think about it. I moved here with no family. My kid, we were still pretty long distance at that point. So, yeah, it was real. It was a reality check for sure.
Yeah. That's crazy. I feel like we have this, and I'm not comparing. I'm just saying, I feel like we have the same story. Like, literally, I have no family out here. I moved out here. Like,
it's hard.
Yeah, and it's great, especially when you got kids.
Yeah.
You can't drop them. You can't drop them nowhere.
Yeah, nah. You can't.
Then you got to pay $2,000 for daycare. Do y'all pay for daycare?
No, we don't.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's good. I was thinking about being a stay-at-home dad, but I was like,
you should do it.
I should do it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, my fiance makes good money, but it's like, then I can't. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about being a parent and a entrepreneur or someone that has careers outside of like a structured system is you got to sacrifice. How much did you sacrifice to get where you at right now? And is there anything you regret on the journey?
No regrets. And I know that's so cliche, but no regrets. I made sacrifices, like I told you, even with the working, because when I was working at Wells Fargo, I was literally on radio, like I said, 7 days a week. So I'm in there and they're like, I ain't even trying to tell nobody that I'm on the radio. Because you know how, like, when you're on the radio, they don't really know your face for real. They just know your voice. So I'm not even trying to tell nobody. Then when people start finding out, I'm like, dang, they like, ain't you on the radio? I'm like, oh,
what you doing here?
I know. Why you in here? But man, you can't worry about that, you know, because at the end of the day, like I said, you got to do what you got to do. But yeah, I just feel like I made sacrifices just even with the money. Like I told you, not making money, just trying to figure life out in general forced me to make a bunch of sacrifices to get where I am.
So I know you mentioned, you said you were like filling in, like they asked you to fill in up here. So is that what they did at Breakfast Club? You filled in there, or how did that happen?
Yeah, so Breakfast Club, they it was just an opportunity to be a part of that platform. So it wasn't, I guess it was a fill-in, I guess so. But more so just an opportunity to be a part of that platform and to show everybody who listens to the Breakfast Club who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
really mix and mingle and connect with Charlamagne and DJ Envy on another level.
Yeah. No, that's dope. And did you actually, like, I know you met Charlamagne, but did you meet them and have conversations with them before, previous to that, where you were in the same room, or that was your first time, like, with them actually having conversation?
So yeah, I met them. So they came to Nashville to the NAMM.
Yeah.
And Charlamagne, I saw him there. That was before. So that was, I'm not sure, maybe like 2 years ago. So,
Okay.
I mean, every time I personally see Charlamagne, we chop it up.
Yeah.
You know, just off of me trying to just get inspo and motivation to stay in the game. Because, you know, radio is radio. And it's always good when you see people who are at levels, you know, at certain levels, to just pour into you. So that's a lot of the times with seeing Charlamagne does, you know, just pouring into me. But DJ
That's what
Envy,
your husband does too, right?
Yeah.
Pause, India.
Yeah.
Pause.
But
I'm sorry, good. Y'all got kids. Listen, it's hard to take care of kids. I'm bad. I'm sorry. I keep bringing it back to that. I just, man, y'all got something good going on, and I respect y'all.
Thank you
so much for that, because it's not easy.
It ain't.
But I'm sorry, you can continue.
No, it's good. And we work really good as a team. You know, I mean, it ain't perfect, but one thing we have, and another reason why I just rolling back to me starting my family page, we got like real love. You know what I'm saying?
And
that
you can
don't
tell.
see every day. And it's like, I always would tell him, like, I feel like people should see it because it gives people hope. And it shows you, like, you don't have to settle for this. You don't have to, like, it might not come tomorrow when you want it, but it comes when you least expect it. And that's what happened with us. It came when we wasn't looking for each other. So I like to show it because it's real.
And you know what's dope? I wasn't like eavesdropping on y'all conversation, but as I'm setting up, I hear y'all talking, and y'all talking like y'all homies.
Yeah.
That's what's cool about it, is like it's like y'all are yourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No matter who's around, it's like y'all chopping it up like y'all homies. So I respect that.
That's how it should be.
Yeah. It reminds me of my situation, but yeah.
Well, it's going to remind you because you're Aquarius and she's a Gemini. I mean, she's a Cancer, and I'm an Aquarius and he's a Cancer.
That's so crazy, right? It's supposed to happen this way. I just feel like this is supposed to happen, so I'm glad you're able to come. But listen, I want to know, when you was at Breakfast Club and you stood up for Nashville, and you new here still, we could say you're still new.
Yeah, definitely.
What made you say, out of here?
Yeah.
What made you want to, you know what I'm saying, stand on Nashville?
Because when I talk about having a reality check when I came to Nashville, I thought I was about to come in here and just move like I was moving in Columbia.
Yeah.
And Nashville was like, you got to earn this.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect that. You know, I respect that Nashville rides so hard for Nashville.
Yeah.
And so it makes me want to do the same thing being here. And especially because so many people have like really embraced me with open arms. And I'm like, you know, I feel like Nashville make you feel like, dang, you know, like deserve, like, dang, y'all showing me love like this. Like, I appreciate that. So that's why I felt the need to stand up for Nashville the way I did, because I feel like Nashville stands up for me in the times where I need them to as well.
That's fire. And honestly, me being from PA is like, I live in Murfreesboro. I've never heard that in my life, Murfreesboro.
Yeah.
So I moved down here for a job, and when only thing I think about is Nashville before I moved here was white people, country music, and Young Buck. That's it.
Yeah.
I came down here, I was like, there's hip hop? Like, there's a whole scene. Like, it's crazy. So I want to ask you, you're on the radio. I don't know, but a lot of people come on my show and talk about, you know, how there's a disconnect, you know, with support here, which me getting on the scene and doing, I don't see that. me being from here, I don't see that. I feel like they're more united than they think.
Me too.
So
yeah, definitely.
yeah. So my question to you is, if you want to explain to the artists, because they feel like the radio don't support them, can you explain how that works with the radio? Because it's really not your choice.
It's really not. I mean, there are things that you. Okay, so I can just only speak for myself
For
and
sure.
with iHeart Media. iHeart Media, you have to think about what type of company this is. This is a huge billion-dollar company.
Right.
They are not. It is very standardized with iHeart, meaning they're going to do what can portray across every market and not just individually.
Right.
They're not saying, oh, okay, well, let's hook up Nashville because they're in Nashville. Let's hook up Atlanta because they're in Atlanta.
Right.
Unfortunately, the company is just not like that. So when we talk about radio and like what we can do, a lot of the DJs they support, because a lot of the DJs can play a lot of the music and stuff like that in their sets and things like that. But they really do restrict us, and that's with iHeart. There are other companies that may give a little bit more leg room, but I can only speak for my company when I say it's not as easy as people make it or people think it is, unfortunately. A lot of times when I am trying to look out for different artists or whatever, I can throw a song in, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of artists want rotation, and that's where it gets tricky because that's where it's a whole different ball game when you're putting music in rotation. So again, a lot of it's just like more corporate, and it's just really out of the control of like us as talent nowadays.
Right.
So much has changed, and like I said, with iHeart, it's just a bigger company. So it's not as easy to show love. That's why you see a lot of people who go outside of that and do like have other platforms where they can show artists, love or whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
Yeah, no, and that's good. I'm glad like the people were able to hear that, because like I said, like they feel like it's so disconnected. Yeah. And like where I'm from, my hometown, I felt that way when I was there. But when I'm not from somewhere and I'm here, I'm like, y'all don't know how good y'all got it. All right, so talking about that, I don't know how familiar you are with the local scene of music, but what is your take on Nashville's like local artists? How do you feel about them?
So the local artists here are really dope to me. I love the vibe. I feel like the vibe of the music really feels good. And I will never forget, I did the Slim and Huskies Unplugged event. They have a music series where a lot of, local artists come together and, do their thing on stage. And it really, those events really opened my eyes to the hip hop scene here in Nashville and had me even following a lot of, these dope artists, Ron Bossy, They Need Weeds. He just dropped a single with his wife. They're doing some really dope things. R&B, feel good. Music that we need. Daisha McBride, Bree, Too Loud Bree. So yeah, I definitely think we got a lot of dope artists out here. And who they don't. I mean, everybody loves radio, right? But they're doing their thing without
radio.
So that says a lot. It speaks volumes on the art of their work and on just how good they sound and how good their music is doing too. So.
Yeah. So with being on radio, you understand advertising.
I do.
So do you feel like it is important for artists to invest in advertising? Not on radio. I'm just saying in general, like because you're someone that you do ads, you speak about them and do that. How important do you feel like it is for an artist? This is an artist platform, so I'm just asking you artist questions.
No, that's fine.
But your take on artists promoting themselves. Do you feel like they should be doing that at a higher level? Not the ones you mentioned, but people that make music.
Well, I think it just kind of depends on what you're trying to do, where you're trying to go. Obviously, yes, you should be out here promoting yourself and pushing yourself, especially nowadays, because like I said, it's certain artists that I see that have 1 million followers, and I've never heard of this person in my life, but because they have a team, they pushed and promoted themselves beyond what anybody else could do.
Right.
So absolutely, you should be pushing your work, investing in yourself. You should be out here at these events, networking, shaking hands, putting your CD. Do people still put your? I ain't got a CD in my hand in a minute.
QR codes now.
Oh yeah, the QR code. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, QR code, or they got these dots. You just press your phone against it.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. So yeah, absolutely. You should be investing in yourself in that way, because you are your own brand, regardless of what anybody else can do for you. I'm doing what I can to still just be out here in the street and connecting the community as much as possible. With the schools, I did the TikTok tour. I don't know if y'all seen that, but
the TikTok tour.
Okay. And just different middle schools. And
I want to tell you something real quick. I'm a terrible journalist.
Okay.
I'm just off the top with everything. Like right now, I'm trying to get better at it, but I just like natural conversation better. So it's not to disrespect what you're doing.
No, that's fine.
Okay, so the TikTok tour, explain that.
So basically, we went to different high schools, middle schools, and I called it a TikTok tour because kids love TikTok.
Right.
So the idea was to pop up at your school and do a TikTok dance, and kind of just give the school a fun moment by having a station, a DJ pop up at the school.
Dope.
So yeah, I try to do like a lot of stuff like that, because it's the kids that's growing up, the kids that's listening, you know. So I try to stay connected as much as I can, but I am a mom and I am a wife, so I just try to do what I can, like I said, for the city, for the station, and for everybody.
Is that something you curated, or is that something the station? Oh, dope. And then, so when you go about that, is that where you go like, hey, station, we need this, or that's you do that completely yourself?
I did it completely myself.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah.
So with your dancing background, you was out there doing TikToks?
Yeah. I don't really know too many of the kids be having to help me.
All the kids, they be doing it.
Help me, yeah. I be trying, but
That's hilarious.
It's really about them, and then
just
being able to, oh my goodness, we would shout out to MOC Studio, Diz. I'm not sure if you
not sure.
know Diz. Okay, well, they
Shout
have a
Diz.
Production company.
Fire.
They're really dope, actually. Okay. But they would come out there and do our videos, and we'd post them on our page, and the kids loved it.
Wow.
So those are the things that are important to me.
Yeah, that's dope. So I just want to ask one more question. I know we took a lot of your time. So now that you are stuck here because you're not going nowhere, you got a family, the people love you here. What's your not end goal, but what is something you want to see happen for your brand, your career?
That's a good question.
I just want to mention that y'all heard Monty Mill say I asked a good question. Let's make some noise for that.
It is a good question, because I did mention not long ago that I'm in like a confusing space right now. So I guess in a perfect world, I would like to see, I don't know. That's a hard question.
No, it is, because it's very broad.
It is very broad.
So within radio, what is something you want to see happen for yourself, Monty Mills, to, like, are you at your peak of radio? Is there a next level you want to do with radio?
All right, it's your girl C, shot by C, the one behind the camera. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Okay.
Sorry,
so I would like to, I would love to do a morning show.
Dope.
I would love other people with me. I'm kind of over being by myself.
Yeah.
So I would love to have other people. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a morning show. It could be another time slot, but just like another person or persons.
Yeah.
I think that would be really good career wise. I also want to move up behind the scenes. So like right now, I'm music director. There's not a lot of women program directors. So that would be something really cool. I mean, Dolomite's there now. I ain't trying to take your job, Dolomite. But I would love to for sure move up behind the scenes as well, career wise, because there's a lot of, like you said, I'm a boss, Right. So I would love to take on that role fully eventually.
Dope. Oh, and I'm sorry, this is the last question, I promise. Being a woman in entertainment, do you feel like it was, it's more challenging? Because I feel like being a woman in anything is a little challenging. I'm not a woman, but I would assume. Do you think it was difficult for you in radio? Like, do people give you that respect, or did you have to fight for that respect?
I definitely feel like, I'm not going to say I had to fight for it, but, as a woman, I had to keep it business. I have to be about my business. I feel like that's what makes people respect that. Like when, just being about your business.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like people respect that I'm professional and that I'm about my business. If I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, yeah, there's challenges because it is a male dominated industry. But I don't really get into that too much. You know, I play my part. I do what I'm supposed to do 110%. And I mean, either you gonna respect it or you ain't, you know?
Respected or neglected.
Yeah.
That's fine. She snapping back there. All right, so last words that you want to tell the people in Nashville. This is mainly focused for music artists in Nashville. If there's anything you want to tell people, get them positive words or, you know, any type of encouragement you want to tell them, you can leave it right here on the floor.
Yes. Well, definitely, as far as encouragement, don't let nobody tell you what you can or cannot do. Okay. The sky is literally, people say the sky ain't the limit, but you know, you can do whatever it is you want to do without radio. I don't like to say that because, but like we talked about, I mean, there are so many avenues where you can be successful in 2024. So just keep doing your thing, man. Keep grinding. Make sure that you are pushing yourself, pushing your music. Make sure that you got the right people around you. You know, you ain't got no haters around you. And that you're just being positive. You're speaking positive things of your life. There's so many things that I have spoke into existence just by speaking them. So just make sure that you're speaking positive things over your life and over your career and the things that you want to do, and keep going. Connect. Listen, people be coming to me. They don't care. People do not care. They be like, yeah. I be like, all right. Yeah, let me just, you know, get in people's faces and make sure that, you know, they hear you. Make sure that they hear you.
Yeah, I tell people your network is your net worth.
Yes, for sure.
Fire. So, I appreciate your time. Appreciate you coming through and sitting in this cooler that we're in here.
I know. Probably gonna see the bumps on my arm.
but yeah, no, because I'm starting to get cold. But yeah, no, thank you for coming out and joining us here. There's a lot that's in store for you. A lot more that's coming to you.
Thank you.
And you just keep doing what you're doing. You got a beautiful family.
Thank you.
And people are going to attach themselves to whatever you're doing because you're intentional about what you do. And that's what I get from your spirit. What day is your birthday?
The 16th, February.
Oh, okay. Mine is February 3rd. I just wanted to see. I was about to say, can't be no way we got the same birthday, too.
No.
Nah, mine is more lit.
Aquarius. Yeah, and thank you for having me.
Sure.
You said yours more lit. I just
got
caught that. Bro, mine's lit because it's by Valentine's Day, first of all.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, mine is 2-3. That's Jordan. He's the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? So.
Okay.
Whatever.
I also want to say thank you for having me.
For sure.
You know, I was really excited to come on the podcast because I loved your approach. You know, as far as just us working together, it's very professional, and I'm like, you know, it was just a platform that, you know, I support. And so I appreciate you having me on here. Thanks, Nashville, for, you know, I always say this, but thanks for just welcoming me here and accepting me with open arms. You know, I don't feel like y'all accept everybody. And so I really appreciate that. So I'm glad that I was able to sit here. Hopefully I was able to, you know, give you guys some good words of encouragement. Yes. And just feel free to tap in if you need me. I'm here.
And where can they find you if they never heard of Monty Mills?
Yeah, you can find me on social media at Monty Mills. That's MANIMILLS. So all of the social media channels, that's my platform.
Dope. And make sure y'all tap in every week with the dopest episodes on Cruise Control Radio.